Okay, you're looking at my new SVT 450 bass head. It's not new. It's produced in 2006. I bought it out of a parking lot from a Craigslist deal. There's not many, if any, reviews of this thing. There's one guy that has one, but he doesn't really go over what it does. So I'm going to do a little review on this so you know what this head is, and so if you ever see one, you can score one. It is a solid state Ampeg bass head. I don't know how much it's supposed to emulate the tube sound or not. I'm not really a fan of tubes because of the fact that you know, they go out, and I need a little more reliability than a tube amp might have. They're super expensive too. Not to say that if I wanted a tube amp, I couldn't afford one. I would find the funds somewhere. But I'm kind of a solid state guy. So this amp had been in Craigslist for about a year for like $400, and I had messaged the seller a few times about, you know, partial trades that he wanted just cash. So I'm like, well, I'm out. And then one day I noticed that he had lowered the price to $300, and I thought, let's look at some information. I looked up the information on the bass head. It is mentioned in Talk Bass extensively, and it has its haters. It has a few fans. So I discovered that people were saying all kinds of things about it that weren't good, but I focused on the people that were saying good things about it, and I made my decision from there. When I met the guy in the parking lot, I didn't even plug it in. I just asked him, you know, does it power up, does it work? That's all I wanted to know. And so I brought it home and I plugged it in, and it's like, wow, I was very impressed. The cabinet that it's plugged into is a 4-ohm cabinet, and it's a 4-ohm head. It's 4 and 8, so it's maximized output is at 4 ohms, so it's matching the cabinet perfectly. Unlike my SVT 8 Pro, which is 2 and 4. So while it works in this cabinet, it's not optimized. So right away I thought, wow, this thing blows my 8 Pro away. But then I figured out, you know, started looking at the ohms ratings, and that's why. But for here and the now, it works for me. I do basement gigs sometimes where taking my 80-pound rack down a rickety flight of stairs just isn't very appealing, and so this bass head will be more manageable. That's why I bought it. But now, after listening to it, I'm thinking that it's just going to replace my 8 Pro altogether. And I'm probably going to sell my 8 Pro and get something. They do have a rack mountable version of this head, and I'll probably throw that in there. But anyway, let's go over how it sounds. So this is the sound dry. This is the sound with my EQ pedal on. And this is the amp's EQ, and I actually like the amp's EQ as much, probably better than my DoD EQ. Like a lot more smoother. Let's check it out with distortion. Dry with distortion. Pretty massive. Here's with my EQ. So there you go. It's I have the cut boost on right now, so when I take that off, it's a whole lot louder. I don't even need it on, so I just leave it off. And with the distortion, it's even more massive. Like, wow. So there you have it. I'm going to unplug the bass down, I'm going to show you the back panel real quick before I end this video. So it's 450 watts at 4 ohms, 250 watts at 8 ohms, 8 ohm minimum, class 2 wiring. It's got power in, preamp out, return and send effects loops, has a cut boost, pre-post, and a balanced out. And so basically it's just this little unit in this huge head. So some people criticize it, say Ampeg didn't need to put this little rack mountable unit in this huge head and kind of false advertise it, because it kind of looks like the classic tube amps, but I guess it sits on the cabinet well, that way, so whatever. All right, that's my review. Hope you liked it, and check out my bass cover videos and a bit of an update on my bass covers. I've been busy with the band, so I've been playing out of town. We played Fife Tacoma. We're doing Yakima this Saturday at an off the record store. So if you're in Yakima around 3-4 o'clock, come out and check out the band. We'll be with 2 other bands, Method 13 and some other individual artist, I believe. As far as bass covers go, I am working on 5 Magics by Megadeth, and I've got it learned. I'm just kind of practicing it up. So that should be out in a couple weeks.